Hi there, this submission is from William, and it's got a real heavy sci-fi element to it. It had ended. It was truly over. After months in our house, we were going to be allowed out. We'd been warned this was going to happen, so we had already planned our perfect day. And here it was. The day was upon us. This is when quarantine was over, by the way. The news turned on. Boris was on as always, but there was a portal right behind him, and he was holding a steampunk device. He said in his British voice, "Right, now, we can time travel. You can only use time travel once a day, but there are consequences for anyone who uses it illegally." I was with my family who were watching with a sense of excitement. "Can you travel dimensions?" asked Jim. My mum asked, "Can you bring back people that you've forgotten?" I answered back frustrated, "Shut up, I want to hear what he's saying." My dad exclaimed, "If I hear another one of you speak, so help me God, I'll turn it off." My mum answered back, "I'm sorry, your son is..." My dad interrupts, "Did I stutter?" My brother Tim said, "Guys, this old man gave me a book." My dad says that old men who give you books across the street are a nuisance, and it's often a bad idea. I was 7 when he said that. Now I'm 12 and I have a bank account with 50p and a singular penny. Fortunately, the time machine cost £5.40 per month, and my dad was looking suspiciously at his computer. I said to him, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm ordering a time machine for the family, so be good and don't tell anyone." I shouted, "Guys, Dad is..." He put me in a headlock. He eventually let me go, but he said I wasn't to tell them. 2 days later, the doorbell was ringing. "Saxton, please get that," my mum exclaimed from upstairs. I got a notification on my phone saying that a space at Boy Scouts was now available. If you were a previous Boy Scout, sign back up to the Boy Scouts. I thought to myself, this is a waste of time. Tim came close to me and swooped the phone out of my hand, and he said, "What's on your phone?" He mumbles the notification. "Why do you want to join the Boy Scouts again?" I replied, "I don't. I'd like to join the Navy." My dad replied, "Yes, do it, my son." My mum has her palm deep in her face. "Oh my goodness, Saxton, you know how bad an idea that is." Dad interrupts. "Hey, the time machine's here." Tim excitedly pops all of the bubbles in the bubble wrap because he is a nutcase. 1 day later, Dad set up the time machine and he gave us all one of the time suits. He programmed the time machine and wanted to go to the year 1848. He said, "I'll be back," in an Arnie-type voice. Meanwhile, Tim went to create his own little reality made entirely out of potatoes. And Mum? Well, she went to a shopping reality where everything is free. And I go too. Well, I didn't go anywhere for the next hour, and it said malfunction about 50 times, and a red portal opened up. It looked sketchy, but it was hell or the toilet paper crisis of 2020. This time machine was a voice-activated one. I said 2069, and the time machine sent me to 1969 instead. I realised this when I stepped in. People were looking at me weird, like I was an alien from another dimension. I heard someone say, "Look, it's a donkey sapien." I shouted at the time machine, "Take me back to 2040! The machine thought I said 2020, and it sent me to the corona outbreak. I went to the local shop and people were buying toilet paper. I went to the nearest person close to me and the man was speaking reverse English. It sounded strange. I said, "Take me back to 3040. The machine sent me back to September 12th, 2040. I went to tech support and I said to the scruffy technician, "I would like this machine's voice recorder to be fixed, please." Instead, he just gave me a new machine. Mint condition. But then it hit me. None of this had happened. Maybe I'm in a dream. I could hear a strange intermittent beep sounding in the distance. Beep beep, beep beep, beep beep. I woke up and I realised why my machine was broken. When I went back to the 1960s, someone sabotaged it, so there are people from the 60s roaming about. They were causing major confusion. My family were missing and I discovered that I now had unholy powers that I could use for the people from the 60s to get out of here. I opened a portal and said, 1969, this way. If you don't join, then you'll never leave here again. I heard beeping again. The same beep beep. I hoped to myself it was the last inception of a dream, like you wake up forever. And I woke up. I went downstairs to watch the TV and the news turned on. Boris was on as always, but there was a portal behind him and he was holding a steampunk device. He said in his British voice, "Right, now we can time travel. You can only time travel once a day, but there are consequences for anyone who uses it illegally." I was with my family who were watching with a sense of excitement. "Can you travel dimensions?" asked Jim. My mum asked, "Can you bring back people that you've forgotten?"